Rudy Giuliani's financial problems might get so much worse in the near future. And ironically, this time, it's actually through no fault at all of his own. Here's what happened. As we all know, Rudy Giuliani had set up a legal defense fund last year, trying to raise money to pay all of his massive legal fees. And he didn't do very well with the fundraising, okay? But he did manage to secure a $100,000 donation from a man by the name of Matthew Martirano. And Mr. Martirano gave $100,000, which accounted for 13% of the total donations into Rudy Giuliani's legal defense fund. Right, that is a huge amount. The problem is, Mr. Martirano is also the defendant in a massive class action lawsuit for scamming people who were buying his products. And now that this class action lawsuit has in fact been certified by the court, the lawyers for the plaintiffs are now saying that all of those political donations that he gave, including the $100,000 to Rudy Giuliani's legal defense fund, need to be unwound, which means we need to take all that money back because that's money that's going to have to go to these plaintiffs. So here's what Mr. Martirano allegedly did according to the class action lawsuit. There's this online skincare company that says, hey, sign up for a free trial. We're going to send you some products. You don't have to pay anything, right? Sounds too good to be true. And it definitely was, because the people still had to put in their credit card numbers. And of course, they were charged for the products. But what happened was that Mr. Martirano has a software company called Connective. And Connective, the software that he owns, hides chargebacks from the credit card companies. So what that means is that if you're charged for something that you didn't, like you sign up for a free trial, it's supposed to be free, but they charge you, you call your credit card or debit card company and say, hey, I did not approve this charge, reverse it. Bank says, okay. Now, if they get a ton of chargebacks, which is what those are called, from a certain company, they will mark that company as a fraudulent company, and they won't allow any charges to go through. So in order to avoid that, Martirano has this software called Connective that hides those chargebacks from the banks. So the banks can't see that 100 people or 500 or 1,000 people have had to call and get their money back due to fraudulent charges from this one company. So that's the lawsuit in a nutshell. And once this lawsuit was filed and certified, what happened, according to the plaintiff's lawyers, is that Mr. Martirano, knowing that, oh God, I'm about to lose everything, all my money, all my houses, well, he put his houses in the names of somebody else, so those can't be touched by the plaintiffs. And in order to avoid giving away all his cash, he started making tons of political donations where, hey, you can't get that money back. It's not sitting in a bank for you to grab if I lose the lawsuit. Nope, that money's gone. He put thousands and thousands of dollars into various Trump political action committees, the Trump presidential campaign itself, and then another Trump organization. But the biggest one was the $100,000 to Rudy Giuliani. And if the lawyers get their way, which I believe they should, Giuliani's going to have to give back that $100,000. We're talking about a guy that's already in bankruptcy court. He's already, been sued by his lawyers for not paying them. He still has the criminal trial in Georgia coming up, and he has the massive defamation lawsuits and the harassment lawsuit from the former employee. He needs all the money he can get to pay his legal fees, and it looks like he's likely going to have to pay back $100,000 that he desperately needs. And again, the funniest part is that Giuliani wasn't involved in any of this, right? He's not associated with this company, with the guy, none of it. He just said, oh, hey, a guy gave me $100,000. That's awesome. Without even realizing, he had no way of knowing, to be honest, that the guy only did it to hide the money from the people who are suing him.